flashing mute.
Oh, well, that would be one.
No.
Now people can hear us. See, we can get the little green things going whenever I
Really?
speak. Yeah.
Was that what it was? It was just on mute?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're technically savvy here.
We're really not. Look at me, I'm glowing.
Flashing.
Oh, yay!
No.
It's working. Okay,
Okay.
we can start.
Victory. Go
Okay,
us.
wait, hang on. Let me get this recording. No, error! God damn it! Nothing wants to work for anything I do.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
This isn't on mute. Okay.
Where are my comics?
I don't know where your comics are. Did you buy any comics?
I get all of mine digital and then buy them all on trade.
Well, I
for
have
physical copies.
I have one that I know you read. Did you read Bounty?
I haven't actually read either of those yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it was in your picks.
I know.
It was in your picks.
I don't suppose you grabbed Vote Loki.
No, I did not.
Okay.
That's at the store. Okay, I'll sit down here.
Because Vote Loki was amazing. Oh my god, Vote Loki. Wow. Or Nailbiter?
Okay, I'm gonna move your fizzy drink.
No spoilers!
Reading that trade.
I'm so sorry. Because you wanna know what happened today? They went into what actually starts causing all of the things to happen in Buckaroo to happen in Buckaroo.
Don't talk about it.
So guess who's getting some spoilers?
No! I would literally leave the room.
Go leave the room then. Okay, wait. hang
Where's he
on.
gonna go?
I don't know.
Out in the hall. Please don't worry.
Cool. We're ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so
Let's do this.
welcome to Nerdcouver. We're here doing a thing where we talk about comics.
Please don't use that accent.
I don't even know what that
Our
accent
screen's
is.
like slightly crooked, and it's really tripping me out. Or is it your TV?
It's my TV.
Okay.
My TV is at a little bit of an angle
You look at the camera,
because
not the TV.
yeah,
No, I like looking at us when we talk.
that's fair. My TV's on a bit of an angle because it's on an arm,
Okay.
and all of the connections are on one side of the TV. So it normally actually tilts down the other way, but I've got it held up by an empty spice container
Mm-hmm.
into something that is almost balanced.
Oh, yes.
And then
See.
and then it's also angled a little bit differently. Like it's facing towards the kitchen right now because I usually watch TV while doing other things. Because I'm busy.
You're a multitasker.
Yeah, I multitask all the bloody time because I have to.
It's the only way to get anything done.
It really is.
Okay. So
Welcome to my
let's
strange world.
start.
Welcome to my strange world.
All right. So we're Nerdcouver.
Yes, we are.
I'm Jenna.
I am Aaron.
And I'm Nathan.
Cool. So this is
These
talking
are
comics.
porcupines.
There's porcupines behind us.
Yes.
Not real ones though, because that would be dangerous and scary.
I don't know. I got a porcupine quill pen.
Why does that not surprise me?
It makes me so happy. I want to thank the people who got it for me, which would be Aaron and Amanda Garvey. Thank you very much. I hope you guys are watching this because the pen you got me is amazing. So, it's an African porcupine pen.
That does sound pretty cool.
Yes, it does.
All right, so we're talking comics this week.
I'm actually getting my comic list online, and then I'm going to shut down my phone, and then I can refer back to the comic list.
Cool. So Nathan, since you're ready,
All right.
which comics did you pick up this week?
Well, quick rundown of all the comics I picked up this week. We'll start with the new things from DC that I just dropped everywhere.
Dropped in ruins. Way to go.
I picked up the new Harley Quinn #1,
As well, you should.
Suicide Squad Rebirth. This is the Amanda Conner variant cover because how could you not get a cover with Amanda Conner's art?
Because it's gorgeous.
And Batman #4. That's a nice Tim Sale variant there too, not the David Fincher.
So,
Okay, good. Our audio is working this time around.
Can you beat us on your computer?
What?
The YouTube video. Oh, good, it is.
Yeah, no,
Oops.
the YouTube videos working.
Justice League #2, also the variant cover. DC has had really nice variant cover lately.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Marvel's doing their whole Death of X audio cover thing,
Which
which
cares?
some of them are really, really good. It's just I don't care about almost anything that Marvel is putting out.
Except this one, right?
Doctor
Doctor Strange.
Doctor
Number
Strange
10.
was awesome.
I haven't gotten to read that one yet.
It's really good.
I won't be talking about it today.
Really, really good.
Green Arrow number 4. Superman number 4. And Nightwing number 2.
Mm.
And these are the normal covers.
That's okay.
So the comics I think I'll talk about this week are, well, I'll talk about the new debuts of Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad.
Mhm.
And
Topical.
yeah, very topical releases this week because there's
A
this
movie.
movie coming out
That
And-
might be called
tomorrow.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that next week
We
for
actually
the
are.
future.
I'm going to go see it Tuesday. I know you're planning on seeing it this weekend.
I'm seeing it tomorrow.
And Jenna,
And I might just skip out on it because it doesn't interest me.
that's fair.
But
It's gonna be
Harley
terrible.
Quinn's in it.
You know what? I don't particularly
Everybody-
like Harley Quinn.
Really?
I like
Yeah.
old 90s cartoon Harley
I
Quinn,
agree.
but everything that she's been in recently, I just don't really care for.
Huh.
True, and that kind of agrees with what I'd say about Harley Quinn number 1.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not so good.
It's fine. It's literally leaves off where the last volume, for what I believe is where the last volume ended
It
off.
is.
Yeah.
It does. It's
I only got through the first arc of the previous series because I just get kind of annoyed of how they write Harley. I'm sick of the actual New Jersey written dialogue. That's like my main peeve is that just write it normal,
And then let
and then
people
let
put the
then let
accent
the
in
voice be
themselves,
put
yeah.
in, not just write it there. It actually makes it harder
Yeah.
to actually hear Harley's voice properly in my head personally.
Mhm.
Chad Harden's still there. I actually like his work a lot more than the last few times I've checked out Harley Quinn.
Mhm.
That was one of the biggest turns off of me of the previous series. Yeah, I guess the basic plot is not a lot. Intro. Literally the first like half the issue is Harley going, here's my whole supporting cast,
Mhm.
and then zombies attack.
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a zombie
Zombies?
apocalypse thing.
Yeah.
So Harley Quinn happens
Yeah.
to a zombie apocalypse
Okay.
because disasters don't happen to Harley Quinn. She happens to disasters.
Yep. That was a sneeze.
That was terrifying.
That was actually incredibly well timed and kind of great. So I'm gonna run with. I'm hoping that was on purpose because that was awesome.
So I got really distracted by the Witcher game down there.
I haven't played it yet. I've heard it's really good.
I
So
wanna
much
play
working.
this.
Okay, well we can totally do that,
Okay.
but not now.
No, Jenna, stop it.
Eh.
We're talking comics now. If you want to,
Yeah.
we could totally play that live.
Okay. That's
Like,
fine.
yeah, we
I'll
could.
do it. How's the Witcher?
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. Yes.
Harley's
Comics.
interesting in that they had to build up a supporting cast for a character that was a side character from a cartoon.
Yeah.
And she's evolved a lot in the, 25 years since she was introduced? Because she was introduced like, 91?
Or no, 92 is when the show started.
I think it was 91.
I don't know.
Early 90s.
Yeah, like 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So during that time, Harley has been gone from being, the Joker's favorite kick toy, really, because, I mean, that wasn't a romance. That was the Joker destroyed somebody and then kept them as a pet.
Yeah.
And
Talk
she
about
got help. She got out. She totally survived her abuse, built up a new life, got her medical license back, has a polyamorous relationship with Poison Ivy, is a landlord, like owns a building, has inspired a bunch of other superheroes, is hanging out with Wonder Woman every now and again, and yeah. But if you're only familiar with that 90s comic cartoon Harley, like that's
Yeah.
the Harley that you expect, and that's the
Yeah.
Harley that you want.
And that's
But
the
it's
Harley
not the
you
one you
don't
don't
get.
yeah, it's
yeah.
not
It's
what you
it's
get
a
in this
different
series.
kind of insanity, and I love like that comic is used to lampoon a lot of the tropes that happen in comics and
Yes,
in
definitely.
like different
Let's-
comic book
It's-
related movies.
Yeah, Harley Quinn basically became Deadpool for DC,
Very much.
more or less.
Very
Except
much.
like even Deadpool's kind of stopped being as Deadpool as he used to be.
Yeah. Well, they actually had that
Yes,
a couple of issues ago. They
he
had
did. He's
Deadpool.
in it.
Yeah.
Red Tool.
And it's fantastic. And they had Manos instead of Thanos
Yeah.
a few issues back.
Oh yeah, wasn't that in the in that Power Girl series?
That was in the Power Girl.
Yeah, I don't.
Harley Quinn and Power Girl.
Oh my God, it was amazing. So Power Girl gets amnesia,
Mm-hmm.
and Harley is like, "Yeah, we're totally a superhero team," and Power Girl is like, "Okay, sure,
I'll believe you, crazy
why
lady.
not?"
Yeah.
And they go out and they like solve crimes together, and it's a total parody of like World's Finest. So it's the parody of the Superman Batman thing,
Mhm.
but with Power Girl playing it straight and Harley being Harley.
Yeah.
Because Harley is crazy, but she's totally aware of the insanity of her world, and that's what makes those comics work. But if you get them, they're awesome. If you
It's
don't,
fine.
they're okay.
And it's not particularly my thing. I mean, maybe I'll check out the rest of the story when it comes out in trade. But yeah, just it's not my thing. And maybe I would like it a bit more if Amanda Connor was actually doing interiors.
Oh, she's not?
No, not
she's
anymore.
she's never done it. She only did it for like 4 pages of this amazing Zero issue, which hooked me into giving that first arc a try. And
Because her
Oh,
artwork
yeah.
is gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Just gorgeous. But yeah, you can definitely tell where the art team switched back in the main series. And this is another one of those things that actually annoys me because they just finished number 30, like last week. Last week was
literally
number
last
30.
week.
This is a number 1. Why is this a number 1? Is because there's the rebirth thing and there's no change. There's no change in the art team. There's no change in the creative team. There's no change in the story. There's no change in anything.
Nope.
They've just slapped a number 1 on it as a marketing thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what this is okay, well, what if I want to go and I've heard about this and I totally want to get in on this series?
Go back to the old number 1. Because even I was still lost on a few things.
Yeah,
and that's
like-
only the fact that I'm caught up on everything DC comic related.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you're like a newbie who likes Harley Quinn and you say you go see Suicide Squad and you like it and you really like Harley Quinn, so apparently she's amazing in it, and you go in, you're gonna be really lost. So not recommended for new readers, which is pretty sad. So
Yeah, because it's great comics, but it's. Either of you ever watch Farscape?
No.
No.
Okay, Farscape was a serial show that couldn't work because, and I can hear people just screaming and going, "Farscape was the best sci-fi thing ever," and it was, except you needed to see it from beginning to end. You needed to see it in sequence for anything to make any kind of sense at all. It was not something that you could watch one episode of and be like, "Oh, I get this." It was. You need to see it from the beginning, and Harley is very much that. Pick up the trades. If you liked Margot Robbie's performance in the movie, pick up the trades and then pick that up.
Yep,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, because these trades aren't going to be out till sometime next year.
Wow, yeah.
Also, half my arm is missing, and it's kind of bugging me, so I'm gonna readjust the frame.
Slide over.
Okay. We're gonna fix the camera. What else did you get?
I also got Suicide Squad Rebirth.
Was that any good?
No, it was fine.
Was fine? Fine? Just
It was fine. Yeah, it was pretty much no other way to describe it than just fine.
Alright.
I mean, it wasn't bad at all. Didn't blow me away. It was just solid. I mean, not a ton happens. You know, Amanda Waller is pretty much trying to recruit Rick Flag to lead the Suicide Squad.
Cool.
And then we cut to the Suicide Squad doing Suicide Squad stuff. It's pretty light. It's a pretty light issue. Philip Tan does the pencils with an assortment of inkers, and Alex Sinclair on colors. Very much emulates Jim Lee's art style, who's going to be the lead on the first arc.
Sure he will.
For the first 5 issues. The
That's
lead,
fine.
key lead. They shortened the page count of this comic just so Jim Lee could actually draw his pages.
Mhm.
But number 1 has Jim Lee and Jason Fabok in it, so I'll pick that up, just that one, for the Jason Fabok and the Jim Lee art, not so much for anything else.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to stop.
Who's on the squad?
Based on this issue, we only really get to see Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and Captain Boomerang. But this cover reveals Killer Croc. And there's an ad for the cover of number 1 in the back here, right at the end, so you can be like, who's on the team? And it's the movie team.
Of course.
Just so you know, it's just the movie team. So
it's where we're relaunching the comics so that, people that like the movie can get in on the comic.
Yep.
Of course.
But with Jim Lee designs.
Oh, God. Can
Deadshot.
I'm sorry, Jim Lee, you kind of peaked in the 90s, and is that supposed to be the Enchantress back there?
Probably. Also looks kind of like Lilith from Titans.
Yeah. Okay, I could get behind that. Katana looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Nobody has any extraneous pouches, so that's a plus.
No, Deadshot kind of got the busiest of it.
Yeah. What is Deadshot wearing?
An Iron Man suit. An Iron Man cyborg. He's cyborg.
Also, what is going on with Harley Quinn's boots?
I didn't even notice the boots.
They look like
power armor.
Yeah, there's
It looks like she's about to get into like a hard suit from Bubblegum Crisis and start like jumping around buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of jumping around buildings, because I don't got much to say about that, but I do have some things to say about this.
Uh-oh. The rage.
Take it away.
I was really excited when they announced Tom King was going to be on Batman. Because, the Vision, Omega Men, Sheriff of Babylon. What happened?
I don't know.
What happened is not every writer can write every character.
Well, actually, Batman's fine. The characterization's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it seems this comic has a lot of actual story beats missing. So this first arc is about 2 Superman-level heroes arriving in Gotham, saving whose name is Gotham and Gotham Girl.
What?
Yeah, they're named Gotham.
Yeah.
In the last issue, we found out their origin, which Batman discovered really way too easy, even for Batman. Again, this is what I mean. There was no real... Batman just, everything just kind of happens. There's no investigation into anything. He just decides to trust them because they stopped him from dying. Batman wants to... And this is kind of a theme that's across both Batman books right now, is that Batman really wants to find people who can take care of the city after he's gone.
Yeah.
Which I can only assume is from his whole died and came back and then kind of had to die again and then come back again so he could be Batman again.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Scott Snyder.
Well, no, that was...
it was great. It was a very powerful moment. But yeah, and this kind of, again, kind of with the rebirth thing, a little wasted because Batman just went through a rebirth in the previous volume. And this kind of...
It's annoying.
Yeah.
It's not good storytelling. It doesn't feel like a Batman book. It feels like... Another thing I'm going to get in trouble for saying, but it feels like mediocre Batman fanfic.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
It's not good.
No, and everything, seriously, everything that I want to see out of this series gets skipped around.
Mm-hmm.
Like Batman finding out who these characters are, we got that in the most mediocre way it could have been done.
How did that happen?
Yeah, I want to know anything about these characters, which they don't.
But thematically...
they're just there.
But thematically also, it's not a Batman story.
No.
It's not a Batman story. And
it's not even about Batman.
No.
It's not about him. He's a side character in his own book.
There's an old thing where if you can remove the main character from your story and not have the story change at all, you are not writing a good story. You can remove Batman from that book without having it change in any way, shape, or form.
No. Just Batman. We only see Batman's perspective, but he has no influence on the plot. In fact, he doesn't seem changed. He was changed in the first issue, but it still feels like you could have already started him out thinking this way from everything he went through in Scott Snyder's run versus a ridiculous 80s movie action sequence in the first issue that took up the entire issue. Yeah, it's just...
It's not good.
It's not good. This is so far the most disappointing Rebirth book that's come out of DC so far for me, that I still keep picking up hoping it gets better. And when this
doesn't.
And no, it doesn't. And when this issue and when this arc's done, I'm gonna be done until the trades on this series, because I can't, even though Miko Yanning's in for the next arc and it sounds kind of interesting, I'm already tired of this when there are so many other DC books to choose from right now
That are so much better.
that are so much better.
Like Detective.
Like
Detective is just great.
or Nightwing.
Yeah. Or you were talking about Red Hood.
Red Hood! Scott Lobdell wrote a better comic book than Tom King. What world is this? I wish I had brought that with me. I'd rather talk about that. That has a more interesting Batman in it, and that's just flashback.
It's World C672.
God, Red Hood was good.
Yeah.
Red Hood was good.
No,
it was written by
right.
Scott Lobdell.
I
And
need
it's
to read that.
yeah.
You do.
It's really, really
Well,
good,
I
Jason
will.
Todd. It's one of the
It's
better books
great.
to come out of DC, which is interesting because Red Hood and the Outlaws
was
for
one of the
New
worst
52
ones
was-
in 52.
was utter trash. And
Yeah.
this is
Great
amazing.
artwork, good characterization, great dynamic between Batman and Jason.
Oh,
It's
God.
pretty much Red Hood is
That's
going to
what I
become
want the most.
Yeah.
Red Hood is going to become pretty much Grayson, but done. It could actually be done better in the end,
Yeah.
with more
Mhm.
compelling reason for it to. Well, the comic book itself is done, but a better reason that's not so far stretched. Isn't it? Hey, Dick, the world thinks you're dead now.
Yeah.
Go infiltrate this agency, rather than Red Hood's going, you know what? There's some things I'm going to do that only I can do.
Yep.
Because I'm the Red Hood.
Well, it's the difference between, again, I'm going to go off on theme and character, but it's the difference between Bruce and Dick and Bruce and Jason.
And Dick
Bruce
and
and Dick get along.
Yeah.
Like,
most of
they
the time.
get along quite a lot of the time. There's a lot of mutual respect there, and there's a lot of love between Bruce and Jason, and there's still that respect, but it's a very different, tumultuous relationship. And there's a lot of people that go, oh, well, Jason wasn't a bad Robin. He wasn't a bad Robin. He was a great Robin. But he's not the kind of guy that Bruce wanted him to be.
Yeah.
And,
Which is the theme of the whole Rebirth issue, actually.
and it's perfect.
So
It's
you see how much
beautiful.
more interesting Red Hood is that this became talking about Red Hood rather than Batman. All right? Tangents on a much better comic book that I am much more excited to read.
Because I'd rather talk about things that are awesome, and
Yeah.
I'd rather recommend stuff that is really, really good. Because it's easy to rip apart the bad. Anybody can do that. Well, no, you can. There's different degrees of ripping apart bad stuff and figuring out why it doesn't work. But there's so much good comics coming out now that it's just like,
So
why am I going to waste
too
my
many.
time even talking about bad stuff? Unless I'm really angry at Marvel, which I'm.
Which he is.
No.
I kind of am too, but we're not going to go into that today.
No, not today.
My last
Not
comic.
today.
I'm going
No,
to talk about
that's
my
fine.
last
I'm
comic.
on a
of the week.
deadline.
Yeah. Talk about my last comic of the week before I let them have the things that try to take up so much time.
Yeah, that's okay, because I've got one comic to talk about, so I don't have time to read.
And Aaron needs 20 minutes to talk about whatever book he needs, so we're good.
We're good. We're on schedule.
Yeah. All right. And the last book of the week that I'm going to talk about is Justice League. It's pretty solid. I'm enjoying it so far. It's kind of like, strangely enough, in the good way that Batman's like a summer action movie, but I hate it for it. That Justice League is a summer action movie, but I love it.
So would you say that Batman is like a DC summer movie, and Justice League is like a Marvel summer movie?
Oh my god.
Oh, man. That just hurts. But yes.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Daniel, I love Tony Daniel. He's been one of my
I love his
favorites.
art,
Yeah. like with Sandu Fleury and Toma
Show the
Wari.
cover, because the cover's gorgeous.
Well, this
Wow.
cover isn't by Tony Daniel.
Yeah.
This is by Yannick Paquette, which again he makes also a beautiful artist, doing great work. Yeah, it's just like it's not a super complex story. It's pretty just big world-ending threat.
Yeah.
Justice League's like, what the hell's going on? They're really confused. Everybody's confused, and it's still not really into what exactly is going on. But like, I'm interested to find out. It's just like some big disasters happen. Pretty much, kind of parallels to Brian Hitch, who's the writer. He was writing the JLA book in the DCU era, which I did not like. I didn't like it at all. It was boring. The characterization was weird. It made no sense. This actually has a much better characterization of everybody, not really seen in his Rebirth issue that he wrote and draw. That I found summer action movie in the worst way. This is good. This is really good. The team dynamic is kind of there. Everybody interacts kind of, but everybody's up to their own thing, and it kind of ends. And the issue ends. Spoilers, but not really. Bringing in the new Superman, the old Superman.
Okay.
It's because
The
nobody.
old new Superman.
The old new Superman, because
There's
nobody.
like 5 of them now.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
because nobody knows him or trusts him, because their Clark died and there's randomly another one who's been around the entire time and never bothered to help them, which had really good explanation in Dan Jurgens' Superman Lois and Clark, which was the best book of the DCU era. The new book.
Yeah.
A new launch, not something that continued.
The Rebirth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before Rebirth.
All right.
But yeah, good comic. Pick it up. And of the 4 books I read this week, if you want to pick up just one, honestly, pick up Justice League.
Because it's fun.
Because it's fun.
Cool.
Don't get Batman. Go get Red Hood instead. And Detective Comics.
Which is saying a lot.
And All-Star Batman next. Yeah, it does. That's my Batman tattoo, in case nobody can see that.
Well, the podcast people can.
Yeah, I just held up my Batman tattoo to those listening.
Because Nathan is hardcore, yo.
Yep.
Hardcore.
All right, guys. What do you got for us this week?
Well, I'm going to be nice and brief because, one comic. I did pick up more, but like I said, I haven't had time to read them because I was at work all day. But I did read through Animosity #1, which is a new one by Aftershock Comics. And I picked it up because the art is really pretty. That's by Raphael De La Torre.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous cover.
Yeah, it's the cover art was kind of what drew me to it. And then the colors were by Rob Swagger, which is really funny because that's a customer of ours, but not actually.
Neat.
Yeah, it's a different person, just same name. It's written by Margaret Bennett, who I believe did Toil and Trouble.
Oh, no, she's great.
Yeah.
What, Insects?
Or Insects, yeah.
For
She's,
Aftershocks.
Oh, God, I want to say she also did... Is she
She's done-
the writer of
she's,
Angela?
She did. I think she might have
Queen of Hell?
bit.
Possibly.
Evil Marguerite?
Also doing, Evil Marguerite. And
Yeah.
DC Bombshells, she's been writing.
Yeah, okay, yeah. She's fantastic. She's an incredible writer.
She's
Yeah.
another Snyder protege.
So basically, Animosity is about animals who gain like higher consciousness, basically. So they kind of like can think the way like humans do. And a lot of the animals decide like, hey, humanity is stupid, so we're just gonna kill them all.
To be fair.
Well, yeah, I mean,
To be fair, they're not
we
wrong.
treat animals pretty horribly. But then you also get interesting things like polar bears eating seals, and then suddenly, like, they gain their consciousness, and they're just like, holy shit, what did I just do? Oh my god, I just killed something. So you get that. And then you got pandas killing each other with rifles. So.
Wait, what is that saying?
Oh, God.
I love the speech bubble. Why did you keep us alive for so long?
And they're just shooting each other in the head.
That's
Which
amazing.
Because
is-
they're cute.
Kind of traumatizing. But, and then you got like this hamster eating her young, and the babies are just like, run, she's evil. So there's panels like that, which are pretty interesting. But then you also get the story of who I'm assuming is going to be the protagonist, who's a little girl and her dog. And her dog is you know, like he's a dog, a typical dog. He loves his master, so he is able to speak. Like the animals can talk, and we can understand them. And the first thing he says is like, "I love you." I say it as Doug from Up.
Oh God, I just love you.
Yeah. So it's really cute.
Oh, the
and-
cat.
Yeah.
Oh, the cat just makes me really happy.
Yeah. So it's really fun looking at what the animals are thinking. Like the
Killer
orca
whale,
whale,
yeah.
like jumping up onto the little platform in the zoo. It's just like, "Hey, trainer, you complete me." So yeah, it's really funny. But at the same time, it turns really dark.
Oh my God, the octopus.
Yeah. You guys. Okay, let me finish talking about my comic. I was supposed to be brief, and now we're just looking through it.
It's
Because
because
it's gorgeous. And
hilarious.
it's a really interesting
gorgeous.
concept.
I know, but it's really traumatizing towards the end because like you see animals just like killing people, and yeah, it's,
You know, we've done some terrible shit to animals, so I can't really fault them.
yeah, I know.
Oh my God, the
the
dog standing up to the tiger.
The dog's name is also Sandor, which makes me really happy because
Because
he's
he's
a
a
hound.
hound. Because he's a
The
hound.
hound, yeah.
And the dog's a hound, which just makes it even better.
Which I'm pretty sure is probably why they named it Sandor.
Oh yeah.
Isn't
But
that
yes.
little girl a little young to have a dog named Sander?
I don't
Just
know.
saying.
Oh my God, that's.
It's Arya and the Hound. No, it's not. But yeah, so I'm assuming the story is going to be basically the little girl Jessie and her hound Sandor trying to survive as animals take over the world. And yeah.
If they can use rifles, we're.
Oh yeah, no, there was a thing. The dad like burst into the room, and was like, "Get away from the dog," because he thinks like the dog's gone crazy.
Yeah.
And he legitimately says, "The raccoons, they got a police car running, and they're running people down."
I could see raccoons doing that.
So there's
Yeah.
these raccoons driving police cars and just running people over. So
Hilarious.
Trash pandas.
there's going to be
Ravens.
some interesting stories developing in this, I believe.
like that concept.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
actually a TV show on Netflix right now. It was based off of a James Patterson book. It's called Zoo.
Mhm.
I started watching it because it's kind of like the same premise where animals, they don't talk, but they have this like mutant gene inside of them, and they basically start killing humans because they want to like take back the world. And the TV show fell flat for me. I stopped watching it after 6 episodes, but I think this one's going to be a lot more interesting.
Mhm.
So, yeah, so that was my pick of the week.
What else did you pick up, Jenna?
Well, I haven't read anything.
Yeah, but what did you pick up?
Well, I picked up public relations. I'm a couple of issues behind because I've been really busy. But I mean, it has continued to be quite funny since the beginning. They switched artists after 6 issues, though, so there is an art change. Not a bad one. And then I got Bounty #2 by Curtis Weave and Mindy Lee.
It's
It's got the cat Tesla on the cover, which makes me really happy because it's really cute.
the comic's really cute too. It's
Yeah. Sci-fi bounty hunters.
Yeah, it's Curtis kind of hit the fantasy comic genre like the fist of an angry god when he did Rat Queens, and he's doing the exact same thing for science fiction now. So
Science
it's
fan fiction?
well, I was going to say for science fantasy because it's not hard sci-fi. I can't believe I just said hard sci-fi. But it's a lot of fun. It's the same sort of like really, really interesting characters, really well developed and thought out world. He does a lot of really good myth building, and comic just continues along those lines, but with a sci-fi setting, and it's great.
Oh, I'll give him that. Rat Queens was never my favorite book, but definitely that world was
Really well
really
developed.
well
Yeah.
established.
What's Kulipari?
Kulipari was a random pick. It's based off of a TV show on Netflix.
Mhm.
It's about frog warriors. Yeah. So I read a little bit of it on my breakout work. And basically what happened was the world is run by animals, and there was the scorpions and the spiders, I believe it was, basically like wage war against the amphibians. And the Kulipari are warrior class of the frog world, and they basically got slaughtered by the scorpions and spiders, so they ran off and established this new city basically. And they were training like new generation of Kulipari, and they had to defend their land again, but they failed. So this is kind of them trying to pick up the pieces.
Interesting.
Yeah, it sounded really interesting. The art's, it's frogs and stuff. It's a nice art style. I do actually really like it. I have no idea what the TV show is about because I haven't watched it, but I'm gonna go see if it's on Netflix or if it's only American Netflix. Because
Because the CRTC is still a thing.
Yes, that's true. But yeah,
No, that
it
looks...
sounds interesting.
Yeah.
It's like Ninja Turtles but with frogs, and not in New York City. There's
They're not
crocodiles.
technically ninjas.
Well, yeah, I guess they're not technically ninjas, but they are like axe-wielding, sword-wielding, badass frogs.
Kind of hard to say no to that.
Yeah, I know. I love it. It reminds me of Michelangelo, I'm not going to lie. It's got like a faux hawk going on there.
Let's be real. If they had hair, Michelangelo would have a faux hawk.
He would.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be,
Yeah.
all up in that. But yeah, so the story is about the frog that was kind of in charge of defending his land, and how he failed. And I bet he feels pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, just TMNT and wild tangent, did you guys see the cartoon TMNT that they let Yeoman Vasquez do?
No.
The guy that wrote Johnny the Homicidal Maniac and Invader Zim
Oh, yes. No, I
got
did
to
see
do the
that.
TMNT thing, the fight between Raph and Dawn,
I did see that.
where like they nearly get ambushed by Shredder, and he's like, no, wait. This is the stupidest thing I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Just amazing. Just amazing.
So, Aaron,
Hilarious. So,
what did you get?
Again, I grab all of my comics digitally. So usually I really only buy trades. And if you have seen my home, which we are currently in, and these two can attest to, there's comics bloody everywhere.
Yep.
I have an entire storage locker that is full of single issues, and it's gotten to the point where I can't buy more single issues without...
Getting rid of other single issues?
Well, no, I wouldn't have room to live in my home. So instead, I just buy trades or I buy digital comics.
Here's what we're going to do. I'll take all of your video games.
No.
And Nathan will take all of your board games.
Oh, God,
And
no.
all of your comics.
No.
Yeah, I'll take all of
I'm not complaining. I'm just
Take all the
explaining
graphic
why.
novels. Actually, no, I
So-
don't have any more room for graphic novels in my house.
But you see, there's a nice spot on my shelf for that Zelda Wii U over there.
No. That was a gift from my brother. I'm never getting rid of that. I will keep that until the day I die. I love you, Jared.
Love it. I couldn't justify getting a third Wii U.
You justify getting a second one?
It
Yeah,
makes me
because
really happy.
My
You
second
justify
one.
getting one?
Okay, I got one on the day it was launched, and then I got one that I modified so I could play import games. And because I didn't want to mess up just in case I broke it. So I got a second one. And then I got a second PlayStation 4 because Lucas was playing Dragon Age. And I wanted to play Dragon Age Inquisition, so
That's
I
fair.
went out and I bought a second PS4 so I could play.
Speaking of PS4s and tangents before Aaron gets into this, because Aaron loves his tangents, I'm going to take some today.
Do it.
And this is going to relate back to Batman. You know, I just said Batman, the comic, is not great. You know what's a Batman story that's really on point and great? Telltale.
Oh, I'm so
Yes.
excited for that! Oh my God.
God, yes.
It was
I
so
want
good.
to play now.
Oh my God, that was actually Troy Baker voicing Batman, and just that Telltale's Batman in general is actually one that I actually feel, and I said actually twice, Actually.
Actually.
I'm actually okay with that.
I want to play it so
Oh, it was good. Played it last night.
Is it available on like disc, or are they doing episode downloads again?
Both, but not till September for disc. And it's $30 for season pass.
That's not bad.
No, not at all. But yeah, the first episode was great. Batman was actually like kind of scary.
Physical copies.
I'm ready.
I go back
Actually,
and forth because again, I'm running out of room. So I'm just like digital copies are a thing.
But they look so pretty on your show.
it's true. That's how I feel about it, especially because it's a Batman game. But I'm like, I need to play it now and not wait. And I've gotten all of other Telltale's other games digitally, like The Wolf Among Us. I know everybody loves Walking Dead.
Wolf Among Us was the best game ever.
Oh yeah,
so
good.
Oh my god.
And then I never finished Game of Thrones or
Really?
Borderlands.
Game of Thrones was pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Aaron's in the game.
Well, I have them.
I'm not kidding. I started playing it. I'm just like, Aaron.
I have
like my game. Get out.
I have all of them. I have them ready. So actually, probably what I'll do, maybe after this,
I'm secretly a planeswalker.
Oh, what was his?
makes sense.
What was the brother's name? The blonde brother. Asher.
Yeah.
Asher and Breska? Breska?
Aaron?
No, the woman that he is with. Anyways, they're my bro TP. I love them. They're so cool. They were my favorite.
Telltale's Batman was great. And actually, I'm probably going to start a second playthrough with a new feature that they have in the crowd play, where you can actually send out invitations to people to watch you play, and they weigh in on all your decisions. There's two versions of that. One where they vote and then you get the final say, or one where they control
what you do.
where everybody votes and the majority gets the decision. And Telltale's going to put this in all their new games, which is very interesting. So I'm thinking I'm going to have two playthroughs, one for myself to make all my choices, and admittedly, I love how they write all their Batman dialogue, because there's a lot of it that's just like, that sounds like the Batman thing to say, but this is the smartest thing to say. So I flip back and forth.
Oh crap!
Well, yeah,
I can't play because the call is in like 2 days.
Yeah. So good, Jenna.
Why do you do this to me?
Because I love Batman.
I do too.
Batman.
And because Batman looks awesome, freaking sweet in that game.
Batman Pyramid in my head.
It's like it's like a good combo of like all of like animated like BTAS Batman and Batfleck. Because like not spoiler, but they have Troy Baker's Batman. He puts a voice changer on when he's Batman, like speaking to people, and it's actually rad.
As opposed to the
I'm Batman. Yeah, it's actually, and it's scarier. Yeah, voice changer Batman's way scarier than. Anybody have a lozenge? I actually heard my vocal cords doing that. Ow!
Having to do.
Yeah, don't. You're an actor. We need your voice in one piece.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Don't pull a Leonard Cohen.
I won't.
Okay, Aaron.
Anyways, Aaron.
Back to Aaron.
So Batman recommendations: Red Hood and Telltale. Leave the series alone.
Yeah. Leave the Batman comics.
Leave the Batman comic alone.
Yeah. Or you could just vote Loki.
Or you could do that.
That's where I'm starting today, because my God, literally in this case, vote Loki is amazing. So the whole premise. Are you guys reading this? You know it?
I haven't read it, but I know the premise. Yeah.
Okay, so the presidential candidates are going to do a debate, and Hydra tries to blow them up, and Loki happens to be in attendance.
Okay.
And stops the assassination from happening.
Mm-hmm.
And the candidates are very thankful, and then somebody is like, "Why are you here to run? Why are you here?" And he's like, I wasn't, but now I'm thinking about it. So he declares his candidacy for the presidency.
Okay.
And it's Loki. And he's not hiding the fact that he is in fact Loki. He's like, yeah, you could vote for the professional liars, or you could vote for the god of lies. Which one makes more sense? There's a journalist who accidentally kickstarts his campaign. Like he gives her an interview.
Okay.
And is like, yeah, you're going to publish the headline like Loki running for president. Nobody's actually going to read the article that you write. They're just going to see that, and they're going to be like, "Oh, I'd like." And he totally explains it to her, and she's like, "That's not how it works at all." And then that is exactly how it works. So suddenly Loki is surging ahead of the polls of their Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton stand-ins.
Oh God.
And so she's like, "No, I totally set this up." And Thor shows up. The end of the first issue, he was like, "What?" to the journalist's house. It's like, "What have you done?" So second issue, she's like, "Okay, well, I've got to discredit him. I've got to fix this." So she starts going like hardline investigative journalist into his campaign, and finds out that his super PAC is a cult that worships Loki.
Oh God.
So she actually records like one of their ceremonies when they're all together and they're doing their thing, and she publishes that, and so people start going like, "Oh my God, Loki's super PAC is a cult, and they all worship Loki, and this is terrible." And Loki, of course, holds the press conference to address the thing, and they're like, "What do you have to say for yourself?" And he's like, "I thought I was clear. I'm a god. It's not a cult. It's a religion that goes back thousands of years because I'm a literal god. And you violated these people's rights to private practice of religion." And it's amazing. So suddenly people are back on board with the whole Loki thing. And she's just like, no, there's got to be some way. So they've talked to him about domestic policy, but in this issue, they bring up foreign policy as a thing. And Doctor Doom is missing from Latveria.
Okay.
So Latveria in the Marvel Comics is this middle European country that is ruled over by Doctor Doom. And it is strictly isolationist. It is beyond first level civilization. Like everybody's employed, everybody's fed, everyone has a home. They've got like a high degree of technology and autonomy, but they are strictly isolationist, do not deal with the rest of the world in any way, shape, or form, but are ruled over tyrannically by Doom. And there's reasons for that, and I can do like a whole separate thing on that because I love Doom and I love Latveria, and he's an incredible villain.
Don't you mean the infamous Iron Man?
Yeah, really, because that's Doom is currently running around in the Iron Man books. So Doom is not in Latveria, and there's an actual uprising going on. So there's like a civil war brewing, and
but not Civil War II.
Not Civil War II. It's just a Latverian civil war. And people are talking about this. So their Hillary Clinton stand-in is like, "We need troops on the ground. Maybe we should invade and help them have their free elections. That would be a good thing." And the Trump stand-in is like, "Yes, let's bomb them into the Stone Age because, yes, why not?"
Why not? Exactly.
And then Loki is like, I've been around a very long time, and there's one of the many, many things that I've learned is violence only leads to more violence. Like I've been a part of that cycle. I was a villain. I've been a hero. I've been a villain. I fought the Avengers. And this is what I've learned, is it only cycles in on itself. So maybe we should try diplomacy and peace. Just an idea, just throwing that out there. And, of course, like people are responding to that.
Yeah.
But then Loki uses his shape-changing to go to Latveria, side with the resistance, and gets basically decimates both sides.
Oh, dear.
And gets caught on film doing it. Like, afterwards, shape changes back to himself. It's like, well, that went better than expected, and then teleports back. But journalist has snuck into Latveria and gets the footage and totally publishes it. And they're like, "Oh my God, Loki did this thing. He's like an international vigilante. This is terrible." And she's like, "My work here is done." Hops on a plane, is like, "This is over. I fixed the mistake. I'm going to go home. It's going to be great." She touches down, and by the time she's touched down, Loki has addressed the problem again, and has just been like, "Listen, I'm your commander-in-chief, your potential commander-in-chief. I took charge of the situation to save American lives. Listen, the war was going to happen one way or another. We expedited it. And now both sides are decimated to the point where we can hopefully help negotiate a settlement between the two of them without any troop intervention, any more loss of life than was strictly necessary. I'd say job well done. And people are like, he's right. They go to like old people who are like, my children didn't have to go and die in some foreign country. Now I feel good. I'm going to vote for that Loki chap. And you get like various soldiers that are like, yeah, I'm really glad I didn't have to go over there and die or put myself at risk. And then you've got Americans going, yeah, that's actually a really good thing that he did there. I'm really quite fond of this Loki person. I'm going to vote. Yeah, and she gets off the plane. There's all this news channel stuff going on around her. And she's just like, I give up. I don't know what to do now. And that's where that issue ends. And I cannot wait to see where it goes because it's amazing. It's really, really funny. It's really, really poignant. And now I'm going to talk about Buckaroo.
Buckaroo?
Bye. I'm actually going to leave during this part. I can't.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Woo! I can stay.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it because it's too good. So there is a comic called Nailbiter. And Nailbiter is one of the most viciously paced comics being published today. It is a horror comic like nothing you have ever read.
So
The concept is there is a town called Buckaroo, and 16 different serial killers have come out of this small town. The town is considered cursed, and it's called Nailbiter because the Nailbiter is one of the serial killers. He would kill people and then eat their fingers.
Yeah.
And he got off.
Yeah.
Like they arrested him, he was acquitted and moved back to Buckaroo, and is just living there as a civilian, which is horrifying.
Yeah.
And so we've been trying to unravel what is causing people to go crazy, because there's very clearly something about this town that is doing this to these people. And as we've gone deeper into this mystery, we've seen what it's cost those that actually know the truth. Because you either become a killer after knowing the truth, or you become so savagely broken that you're unable to do anything.
Huh.
And it's been this ongoing struggle. And we actually recently discovered, and again, this is like a few issues ago, so I don't feel bad spoiling this because you've had months to read this.
I read it in trade.
Yeah. It's okay. This was in the last trade. So,
all right. Okay. It's fine. I'm caught up on trades.
So the Nailbiter used to be the high school boyfriend of the current sheriff of the town. Sheriff has a daughter.
Okay.
The daughter is the father of said daughter is the Nailbiter.
Okay.
He didn't know this. She didn't know this.
Well,
Various people.
Daughter didn't. Sheriff
Yeah, the sheriff
obviously did.
Yeah.
Various townspeople kind of suspected, and at one point, like a bunch of her classmates, like grab her and try to sacrifice her to purify the town, and she gets rescued by like some sort of horrible demon thing that's been roaming around. We've discovered there's like a lake on the edge of town, a big lake. There's like a Mesoamerican pyramid at the bottom of the lake. So like people are looking at this and they're like, okay, well, there's got to be something to do with that. But then there's tunnels like underneath it, and like underneath the town and underneath the cemetery, and they actually like lead to the Mesoamerican temple. And people are like, okay, well, that's got to be a thing. But then you get our heroes like going into it, discovering the entire thing's fake.
Oh.
Like it's a forgery, that the temple itself is a forgery. So you're thinking, oh, it's got a supernatural thing. Maybe, but no. It's really well done. Like really interesting,
well done.
Interesting comics.
It's
And-
underrated. It is very underrated of Image's like big
It's
titles. Like
it's
This
Joshua
is-
Williamson. It's the same guy that does Birthright.
Yeah.
Which, if you're not reading Birthright, read Birthright because
He's also currently writing Flash for DC, which is
also
pretty
really
up there.
good. Yeah.
Just probably in my top 10 of DC rebirth right
Williamson's really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, really strong writer.
He has a
And they're
new
using him
one.
properly.
He has a new one coming out.
Does he? What?
Called Frostbite.
now. Oh yeah, for Vertigo.
Okay, well, I will be reading that too. Because there's like a handful of writers that I will seek out anything they happen to write. And Williamson is definitely on that list at this point.
Excellent.
So the nail biter finally confronts his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And an FBI agent and the sheriff have figured out that there is somebody who might know something, so they go looking for their answers. And that's what this issue is. And you get those two conversations. You get the nail biter taking his daughter to a place and being like, no, I am trying to save
Go home
you.
and read it.
I'm trying to
God.
save you from becoming like me
this
because
comic.
you don't want to do this. And FBI agent and sheriff confront Guy, and Guy knows how this began, but not necessarily how it's evolved. And it's totally amazing.
Oh man.
It's incredible writing, a really good revelation that totally works with everything that's been built so far.
God, I hope this is the end of an arc, so I can.
I think it is.
Oh, thank Christ! I don't have to wait long for the
New
next
trade.
one.
Well,
New trade.
it's 24 issue arc, or sorry, 6 issue arcs, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. 'cause-
Yeah, 6, 5. I don't remember.
Yeah.
5 or 6.
Yeah. So it's outstanding. Like, read this comic and read Birthright too. Do you guys know Birthright?
Yes, I know.
Okay,
I know
good.
about that. I haven't read it. I know about it.
It's
Heard it's good.
It's good.
He's
It's
good
good.
comics.
Read it.
He's good comics. Good comics. What else did I read and really, really like this week?
Not bad, man.
I could be talking about Valiant. I talked about Bounty already, kind of. Doctor Strange.
We kind of talked about Harley. We talked about James Bond.
We didn't talk James Bond. Okay, James Bond is an interesting one because I mean, really, like a James Bond comic.
Yeah.
Like, really,
Yeah.
really, in 2016, we're gonna read a James Bond comic. I have one reason why I'm reading this comic. One, it's a name, and that name is Warren Ellis. And
This is good stuff.
anything that man, like, you keep thinking that maybe Warren Ellis is peaked as a writer, and then he does something better, and he's consistently doing that. And James Bond it's Warren Ellis writing a James Bond story, so he's looking at dark money and how it influences politics, and James Bond is investigating that, and it's breathtakingly good. So yeah, it's Warren Ellis. Like, I feel like that should be it. That's all you have to say is Warren Ellis is writing a comic. Go read it.
Yeah. If you like Warren Ellis, you'll like this.
Yeah. It's really good. I actually waffled on this one for a while. You know, like James Bond. Okay, whatever. You know, I enjoy the movies, I guess. They're fun, forgettable stuff. Like, you can definitely throw them on. I'm a big fan of Live and Let Die. I really like Casino Royale. Yeah, Casino Royale was great. I love Quantum of Solace just because it means that there's a James Bond movie that effectively means a measure of comfort. Just,
Yeah.
it tickles me somewhat.
I'm gonna forget. This is probably the most forgettable movie I've ever watched.
That one? Quantum of Solace?
I remember the beginning. I
Yeah.
remember the end. I don't remember
Anything
how
else.
those 2 points got brought together.
James
yeah.
Bond, right? Yeah.
No,
That's
there's a girl.
James Bond though. It's like
I know
perfect
there's a girl
forgettable
and a
pop.
cavern and a plane.
There's always
and
a girl.
and a fire.
At
some
some point, he went to
snow.
the bar and got his drink.
Did he?
Like
I'm
it's
sure
Did that even happen?
like the
Maybe it was on
Archer
the plane.
I don't
cartoon
even know.
is actually like a better James Bond story than a lot of the more recent James Bond movies. It's just because Archer is fantastic, but this comic series that Warren Ellis is doing is James Bond. Like, it's perfect James Bond. So if you're looking for like a good high stakes political thriller that doesn't take itself too seriously, this is what you should be reading. What else? I want to mention. I don't want to mention New Knight because I was kind of like, okay, that was a thing that happened. I haven't read Lady Killer yet, but I really want to.
I haven't read it either.
Yeah.
I'm picking it up because the first one was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the first one. Artwork looked cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to end. I'm going to talk about one more comic.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be done.
Okay.
And it's going to be a Valiant comic.
Shocker!
Doo-doo-doo.
Oh my god.
Well, we were live, so we weren't live, so we edited in dramatic music.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I have a well-known bias towards Valiant at this point because, again, a lot of their comics are really, really well written and really well drawn. And Valiant, back in March, declared that this summer was going to be the summer of 4001 AD.
There's so many of those titles. I got so confused.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to launch their future world thing. So they started with a comic book called Rai.
Okay.
And Rai takes place in the year 4001 AD in New Japan, which is a floating island above the world. It is a complete utopia where there hasn't been a murder in more than 1,000 years, but now there's been a murder. And Rai, the spirit of Japan, is been tasked by Father, the all-knowing god of New Japan, to discover who the murderer is. And through that comic, you discover that it is actually a dystopia.
Okay.
They are living above the world. The world has gone to hell. There's like little pockets of civilization, and New Japan is basically robbing everybody else of the resources they need to survive to be New Japan. And it's
So it's like Midgard.
yeah, really. It's really interesting. It's
Genesis.
really well drawn. Some of the most beautiful
DC
artwork.
fanboy, I gotta get that in there.
That's fair.
New gods.
Only Rai is something else.
It's not a new god.
But he kind of is. We find out actually over the course of it that he's not the first Rai. There's been different iterations, and because every now and again a Rai will be like, "Father, you're kind of evil," and Father will be like, "Okay, well, you're dead. Time to build a new Rai." But this Rai survived that, and then killed the follow-up. So killed the more advanced version.
Interesting.
Yeah. So War Mother comes from one of the city-states that exists on the planet's surface still. And
D says you should be a voice actor.
okay. Sure.
You
I
have your
kinda
breakout
am.
role. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have your breakout role on
Yeah,
the
Dragon
radio
Age.
show.
Yeah.
Shh, top secret.
In the secret Dragon Age thing that
In
we
the
can't
secret
talk about. Yeah.
radio show that we will all be doing eventually. You're still gonna be in it.
Woo!
Wow.
Victory.
Added a new edition.
Actually, I'm probably going to start my own radio show soon, which all of you are welcome to be on. That's
It's done. I'm in.
Yeah.
Be happy to. So War Mother concentrates on a city-state that's strictly isolationist and very, very pro-science.
Okay.
Science! But they don't deal with the outside world at all. They have one person they send out to gather resources and supplies for them, and she is War Mother. And she's kind of, do you guys play Overwatch?
Yeah.
Okay, so Anna,
Yeah.
new character?
The new guy. That's someone's mom, wasn't she?
Yeah, either Reaper or Hero. No, she's wow, I can't remember the
I'm
character's
drawing a
name.
blank. Oh my god.
I want to say
recall.
Phalanx, and that's not it.
No.
No.
Oh, doesn't matter. New
Yeah.
character.
So new character. She's very similar to that. So she's got like a sentient sniper rifle
Yes.
that she's walking around with, and she is gathering resources for the science community that doesn't believe anything that she says about the outside world. So there's an alien invasion going on in 4001 right now.
Okay, let's add that on top of everything else.
Yeah, with basically city ships that just land. And she's like, well, we have the science to maybe beat them. And the science people at home are like, no, we don't care. Happening beyond our walls. We're strictly isolationist. Everything is going to be fine forever.
Yes.
It isn't. It isn't at all. So I would Very much recommend.
What customer can we make him be?
For our other
Other
for our
secret
other
thing.
show.
Yep.
What's the other show?
I'll tell you.
The
later.
other show.
Brilliant. Well, I look forward to
Top
finding
secret.
that out.
Jenna has many.
I have many projects on the go, and that's why nothing ever gets done.
I know that feeling.
That's
Yep.
fine.
Yeah.
One day, eventually, it'll all happen. If people would stop going to school.
We love you, Dan.
Good, they're not talking about me.
No.
Because I
You're
don't
fine.
matter. I'm just around.
No.
You do matter.
Oh, let's not get into this. Talk about comics.
You're in my wrestling game.
Comics. Comics. Okay.
I'm in the wrestling game.
So
I
for
know that.
2000 AD.
Yeah,
War
would
Mother.
recommend. War Mother is great. Valiant in general is great, and when they're not great, they realize it and generally stop whatever it is that they're doing.
Rewind.
They don't
That's it.
rewind. They acknowledge that it happened.
Do they rebirth?
They don't rebirth.
They just move on.
They just move on, and then they.
So they go to the now
Let's go.
with exclamation point, big capital letters.
I'm so mad that that's what the freaking reboot for Marvel is going to be called. Again. Why? Why? Just come up with a new name if you're going to
Why?
reboot.
Okay, you know,
Don't use
I'm
the name from 2 years ago.
again. I'm just
This
gonna
time
go
the
out.
logos crackly.
I don't. Oh,
Now explosion.
you know, we were
Crackle
talking
now.
about this
You wanna-
earlier.
It's Marvel now crack because that's what it is. It's all crack.
It's
They're
all
on
crack.
crack
Yeah.
because stop rebooting. Just stop.
There's a handful of writers that I actually blame for the necessity of the reboots, because and the editorial board in general for allowing certain things to happen, and then not understanding that they need to write themselves out of the
Yeah.
circumstances. Like, oh no, it'll be great for like publicity. Like people will be shocked, and it doesn't pan out ever.
Can someone else write Spider-Man other than Dan Slott and Jerry Conway?
You know, here's
Maybe.
the thing with Dan Slott, because I
James
like Dan
Tynion.
Slott. I really
Oh, James Tynion on Spider-Man would be.
would be amazing.
Oh, he's exclusive DC though. No, he's not. Yes, he is.
No, he writes for
Or for Boom.
Vertigo.
Oh yeah, Boom.
And doesn't he have Vertigo?
Vertigo's owned by
a
DC.
DC,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
right. Good one.
No,
IDW. He's done IDW. HCL was IDW.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I don't know.
But Marvel, I've got some serious issues with Marvel. You know, if we're gonna do a rebirth thing, we should also probably do a Marvel Now thing,
Yeah.
because that I can easily
Talk
rant
about all
on.
those books I won't be reading.
There's some that I don't know if it's gonna be in this rebirth or like I guess relaunch of Marvel, or if it's coming later on that I've heard about that I really want to read.
Which?
I'm not allowed to say
Oh, okay. Well,
because it's not officially announced yet, so
Could be
Okay.
both. Could be in the new year.
it could be.
Well, there's maybe like
But there's at least
5.
2 titles I will be reading that's Marvel.
There's like
Like that's big.
there's
for
5
me.
I'm interested in checking out, but like every time I check out a Marvel book, I normally can get about 3 issues in.
and then a crossover
Like
happens.
yeah. Or
And
I'm
then-
just tired of it.
Yeah.
Or the artist or the really great artist they have launch the title leaves.
Yeah.
And then a much less interesting artist comes and takes
That's how I
over.
felt with Archie.
Yeah.
When Fiona Staples left, I cried.
Yeah,
It was still really good, but
it's still good. It just
Yeah.
it's not.
it's not
it's not what it was.
Staples.
And Jughead has sort of gone off the rails recently.
But they got a
Well,
better
yeah, they
artist.
got a new artist.
They got a better artist, but it's the story. Like their first arc was really interesting, and their current
Well,
one is just sort of.
this was his last issue.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's leaving after 7, I guess.
I guess to
So-
finally get sex criminals back on track.
Maybe.
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 I don't know. I kind of forget that book exists, and then a trade comes out. And I'm
Well,
like,
speak-
oh, and then
it-
number 3 wasn't
And
great.
he's
So.
not going on like weird breaks. Like we haven't had a new sex criminal comic in ages.
Yeah, well, the 3rd arc wrapped up, and the trade finally came out.
But like even
Oh,
since
it's just-
then, we've had like maybe 2 issues in the last like 4 months.
There's stuff beyond the 3rd trade. I didn't even know that.
I think so.
I think Matt Fraction's got a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like 5 indie books he's writing.
Oh,
So look how long it took Hawkeye to get finished.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh God. But Hawkeye was.
I love
worth
that
it.
they released what was it, like issue 15 they released before 14 or something like that.
It's because they split
everyone
off.
was so confused.
It's because they split off into 2 story arcs and it rotated issues, so that's why.
Yeah, they had
David, the main Hawk, the Clint Barton issues were all delayed, and then they're like, we're not going to release any of these, and we'll just get all the Kate Bishop stuff out of the way first.
and the Kate Bishop stuff was awesome.
It was pretty cool.
It was really, really well done.
But basically,
You might know this because I'm looking for a comic, and it's a Batman comic, and it's one of the annuals, and it's reporter moves from Metropolis to Gotham, and he's like at a meeting, and they're talking about stuff, and the Joker's just gotten out, and they're talking about like, do they want to do a Joker story? And new guy is like, I don't understand why people are so freaked out about this clown. And everybody just kind of looks at him like,
have you read the newspaper?
do you under? And he actually tracks the Joker down, and he's watching the Joker like be the Joker, and actually like starts laughing. And the Joker is like, "Oh, who are you? Who's this that's decided to come and be? Oh, you're a reporter. Welcome!" And the guy continues to laugh at the Joker, and it's like, "You're not scary. You're just kind of pathetic. You're just lonely." And the Joker is like, and then like Batman arrives, and the Joker gets away, and
I
then
always love it when characters like beat at the Joker.
yeah.
My favorite is still
No.
Batman Beyond.
It gets better because Joker like finds out who the guy is, shows up at his house, and just goes like, the guy's got like a best friend, and comes home to find his best friend like strung up.
Oh,
and
I do
dead.
know what annual. I have that annual.
And the Joker is like marionetting him, and
yes,
it's like
yes. Oh,
I
I know
haven't
it.
read this
It's
one.
from the new 52 era, right?
yeah,
Is it?
Number
It's gotta be the
three.
third,
It's
so that's the
so
one I didn't get,
good.
yeah.
it's so
that was a really,
so
it was a
good.
really good one.
Yeah,
I like the first
it's
one.
like, you're right.
first one
I
was
am lonely and in need of
second
a
one I
best
didn't
friend.
get.
Thank you for volunteering.
Because I like saw the artwork and then I just heard what it was going to be about, and then it wasn't actually going to be written by Scott Snyder. Although it ended up being important because that's where they introduced Joker under his guise.
Yeah.
So I was like, great. The one issue I skip is where it all started.
That's why you just get everything.
I know. Actually, I'm going to go through the back issue soon and get that.
Always
I can
grab the
really
annuals.
Have it all together because it's technically the only thing.
Always grab the annuals. The annuals tend to be like the best thing that either the big two puts out.
It's true.
Yeah, the first one was still great. The first annual Snyder's Batman was
So good.
I like the
So good.
Batgirl annual where she recognizes Grayson. by
Yeah,
his
that was great,
ass.
too.
That was
It's
Oh my
just
God, I
so
love
Bengal.
great.
Why isn't Bengal working on DC? Like
I
seriously,
don't know.
why does Marvel gotta like steal him away and put him on like stuff?
Old Man Logan is always good. You know, it's actually not bad. I like
It's
what
not
they've. Well, no,
I haven't picked it up.
it's he goes to like this border town, and he's been living there, and it's people from his future, and he's trying to determine if this is his future or not, and then like he's attempting to make sure that they don't go through the hardships that make them the people that he knows, including his future wife. So he's just met his future wife, but she's like 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wouldn't she be like
Yeah.
a tiny child?
So
That's
he's
kind of creepy.
well, no, he's like, if I can make it so that she doesn't grow up to be the person that she was, she won't be sad. So he's sacrificing his own happiness to make sure that she's okay. And then a bunch of his villains show up looking for it because they're like, no, Wolverine is dead, Logan is dead, and they're like, you're very old, but still clearly Logan. So you must suffer. And he's like, you don't know who you're messing with. Because Old Man Logan is not nearly as kind or gentle as the 616 Logan. It's like comparing modern Batman to Batman Beyond Bruce Wayne.
What?
Oh, old man Bruce Wayne
Oh.
does not take shit.
I remember when they like capture a guy. Like they've got the crossover with the Kevin Conroy, like the young
Oh
Batman.
my god,
They capture
that
a
was
guy,
amazing.
and Old Man Bruce
Yeah.
It's
Batman's
like, I
intimidating
remember
me,
when
so-
I was that soft.
Yeah. And Batman's like, what? And then he's just like, get out of the way. And he slaps his cane on. He's just like, you can talk. And then the guy literally spills everything about everything he knows, and it's amazing. And God, I love Batman.
Yeah. Batman Beyond was great.
It was.
Can we all just agree that
Hashtag
Oblique
pay
was
the
one of the
Japanese.
greatest?
Just kidding. I
Can
don't
we
want
all
to
agree that Oblique was one of the greatest, like, cartoon comic book villains, period? Because she was.
Ink. You mean Ink? She was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ink. All the Batman Beyond villains were good.
Yeah.
Spellbinder was good. Shriek, he was cool.
Yeah. He
Just
just
that
did a really
costume.
good job with everything.
Costume. It's still like the best costume design ever.
Yeah.
I miss the old cartoons of Batman.
Me too.
Yeah.
I miss Young Justice.
Where they could just have, like, mafia stories and, like, you wouldn't see supervillains sometimes. It would just
Yeah.
be, here's a mafia tale that just happens to have Batman in it.
I'm sad now.
Why?
Sassy.
Because I remembered Young
I love
Justice.
Sassy Batman. And
Yeah.
Sassy Alfred when they just
Oh
sass
my
each
god.
other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is again why Scott Snyder's run was so great. Because it captured that.
Yeah.
It was just the new
I miss
it was
Sassy
perfect.
Batman.
Really,
sassy
really good.
Alfred.
I do too.
Is there anything else that anybody is talking about?
No new
Comic
comments.
wise? Aaron needs to become a voice actor.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Cool.
wrap it up because I
Yeah.
got some sewings to do.
And
I
so
would go
dinner
with
to
one.
eat.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't even eaten dinner yet.
All right. Well, hope you enjoyed our rambling.
Yeah.
If you would like to hear more or would recommend that we read something, please let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Anything.
I think I just went on like a 10-minute rant on Old Man Logan.
Bitch. It's okay. I've gone on like
Probably.
3 separate rants on how much on Batman. Separate Batman stuff. I'm glad I'm just finally getting in on the rants. Jen will have one soon, I'm sure.
I just talked about animals killing each other and
It
people.
was a pretty good rant.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I heard it too. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
All right.
What'd you pick up this week?
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. Got any ideas of what some stuff you'd like to see us? Any other past graphic novels you want us to know about? Anything at all? Let
Versus
us know.
Digital.
paper comic versus digital.
Digital.
Okay, well,
Mm.
we're going to do paper comic versus digital just quickly. Okay. I love digital comics because it means I can get up to the minute issues while still having room to live in my home.
Yeah,
And then
kinda
I buy
like for
trades.
manga.
At Big Pete's Comics.
Yeah.
I like for manga more than American comics because manga's harder to get a hold of.
Yeah,
Although I
it
don't really
is.
read much manga anymore. So
Yeah.
it's not hard to find it.
I have a lot of trades. I can't do single issues.
I love paper stuff. Like I love books. I love comics. I love having video games on my shelf versus downloading them. I just like collecting things
Yeah.
and looking at them.
And in a way, sum it up, and I'm not going to actually quote it, but there's a Stan Lee quote about comics, paper versus digital. Look it up.
Paper versus digital.
There's-
By Stan Lee.
There's a comic called Grendel Warchild. It was actually written by somebody in a war zone, like 16 miles, I think it was east of like a legitimate war.
Mhm.
Guy happened to be living like in the middle of whatever. And there's a line in it that has always stuck with me. There's various Grendel clans that are acting as like a nobility and fighting amongst each other. And one of them is an old man, and we never learn his name. And he's got a gun, and the gun runs out of ammo as he's fighting our protagonist.
Mhm.
And the protagonist is armed with a sword, just like a classic sword. And he's killing the old man. Like the old man gets the drop on him with the empty gun, and then realizes it's empty. And the old man just sort of looks disappointed and is like, you know, when I lost my last tooth, they told me that it was going to be okay, but a Grendel needs a tooth. And he's talking about the sword because he doesn't have one anymore because his sword is gone. And so he had a replacement, which was the gun. And the gun isn't working out for him.
Yeah.
Sometimes advents in technology are good. Sometimes they're not. It varies heavily. Like with Air Awakens, I immediately grabbed all of them on digital because why wouldn't I?
Yeah,
And then grabbed all
There
of
is
the
some-
paper things.
Again, it's
Yeah.
really
It's convenience.
it is convenience, but
Because like you wake up, well, not even wake up. You're just lying in bed, and suddenly you're like, I want to read a comic. I don't have it. It's midnight. I'm just gonna download it, and that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
Like it's really cool.
And books go out of print.
But yeah,
Yeah.
oh my
That
God.
smell. New
The
book
new
smell.
book smell is the best
Yeah.
thing
Oh,
ever.
but even older book smell.
Oh, old book smell too. Well, unless it's like musty old book smell, like
Yeah.
the moss have been in it
Yeah.
a little too long, then it's.
But
Yeah,
but
that's great.
being able to find stuff that's been out of print, like I was talking with a friend of mine earlier today. There's a book called Illegal Aliens that I love.
Mhm.
Love this book. I've gone through like 6 or 7 copies because I keep lending it out
And
and I never get it back. And found a copy online for like $2.99. I was like, must have now.
Mhm.
Still love the book, by the way. Would recommend it's aliens land in Central Park in like 1986,
Mhm.
and the world panics, and the UN set up like a first contact team while they were like high, and like have trained these people to deal with like an alien, whatever, like any kind of first contact situation you can imagine. The first contact team was prepared for.
Yeah.
But then they threw them in a bunker, locked them in, and forgot they existed. So they've been playing poker for like 20 years when the aliens touch down.
Oh God.
And the book is amazing. Amazing. Eventually the aliens get, like, they beam aboard like 6 people at random and contact the rest of the world. And they're like, people of dirt,
Dirt.
we have beamed aboard 6 of your civilians to see if you are worthy and sufficiently advanced enough to join the Galactic League. And the people they beamed aboard happen to be the most violent street gang in New York. So the UN, the first contact team, tries to get in contact with them and are like, you beamed aboard a street gang. And they're like, no, a road maintenance crew is perfect for what we have in mind. Don't worry. Street gang takes over the ship.
Whoops.
It is outstanding. Just an incredible book.
Sounds
yeah,
awesome.
I guess really to sum it up, paper versus digital, it's all good. It's all comics. I'll take
Yes.
it anyway. I'll keep reading paper until they stop making them, and then I'll go straight digital. That's the way it is.
If
I
I
like
can get
both.
paper, I'll get paper. If I can't, I'll get digital.
There's, as far as video games go, I think we're looking at like the last generation that's going to have like physical media.
For the last generation in general, it's going to be physical media. It's all going to be digital, screen, everything.
I mean, it's one of the reasons that they've got like all of the crazy pre-order bonuses now. Whenever you like pre-order
Well, yeah,
a
I
game,
mean, the sales have gone down so bad.
Mhm.
Not to mention, like, the cost of producing everything has gotten.
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, so, like, we
That's
have
why-
to charge more.
That's why our hobby kills trees. See, actually, that's probably my main thing that keeps me from going digital. Is that I shouldn't complain about it, but in my head, I'm paying a certain amount of money because I know this, other than the work, the many hours that was put into this by people, but I'm also paying for the fact that it's still a lot of paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you in on something a little bit about that right now, because again, like I've published and self-published and all the rest of it. Like I've got a book coming out September 22nd. Like I said,
Oh.
Her Father's Daughter, The Legend of Mercedes Catch, Book 1. Check out the website, mercedescatch.com. Yeah, books due out soon. I'm really excited.
September, that's really that's coming out.
Yeah, I mean, a month away.
Oh my goodness, I need to read this so I can review it.
Please.
But me and Jenna will review this one.
But
Ew, this bug's by Aaron.
Aaron Dolan, who's this schmo.
the only thing I would ask is that you be honest. So if it's crap, just let me know. But tell me why. Like, pick it
Okay.
apart the way I do with
Alright.
all the comics.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I don't know.
We can do
Um,
this.
we can totally pick something our friend wrote apart at the level of the detail Aaron who dissects everything. Oh God.
Welcome to my
Suddenly my
world.
life is spiraling out of control.
I'm a lifestyle choice. Somebody actually described me as a lifestyle choice. I was really flattered.
So it was your book.
So, well, no, it's
Self-published, yeah.
Question of paper publishing versus digital publishing.
Yes.
You know how much the writer actually gets from paper publishing, like through proper
Isn't it
publication.
like 30% or something really low?
No,
Really?
isn't it like
You're looking at like if the book is selling for $20, your writer is probably getting between 50 cents to $1.
What?
Yeah. If
That's
you're
ridiculous.
getting self-published, and say it's like digital,
Mm-hmm.
if your book is selling for $5, you're probably getting $4.
So
If you're working
self-published
through-
digital is
yeah,
the way
yeah.
to go.
If you're
Yeah.
working through like a major publishing house and it's digital, you're still looking at like 3, which is significantly more than you would be getting with paper.
Interesting. So,
So
buy
it-
books digitally,
Yeah, so it rewards the author more.
buy them both.
Buy them both. That's what I do. That's what I did with the Elise Copa stuff.
Me too. I'm gonna buy them out in trade paperback when they have like the U.S. Today's best-selling author on the top. So I'll have 3 copies of that book.
They're great.
They are.
They're really good.
I have 3 copies of Twilight Princess.
don't I sound like a jerk now? But anyways, yeah, that's my personal opinion why I don't go digital. And also because then there's that full exchange rate that gets applied to the comicsology.
Yeah, these two
And
are
it
great.
really hurts.
So US dollar, please go down for us so we can
Yeah.
buy more comics.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We're supporting your products.
Or
Trades.
Canadian dollar, you go up. That,
Yeah.
that works too.
I don't know. You know, again, I've got a lot of friends that work in film, so the Canadian peso is definitely
Yeah, that's true.
a thing.
Our economy depends on it being lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll lose the film industry.
Mhm.
We don't
And
want
that's
that.
important to me.
It is.
All of us,
A
really.
little bit.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not involved in any way.
I'm getting there.
I'd like to be, but I'm not.
We're working on it.
So
We have plans.
Self-produced.
maybe
Terrible.
we'll see.
plans.
I might have something if it's coming
Cool.
true.
I look forward to finding out what it is.
You might have some things eventually. I don't know.
I'm not allowed to say because it's again top secret.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, I think we've wasted enough of your
Yes.
people's time.
Yeah. No. That's half an hour of sewing time that I've lost now, guys. So
The porcupine demands answers.
no, he's not allowed.
Not live. Talk about it later. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in with us. Let us know in the comments down below what you picked up this week.
Yes.
Also, anything else you want to see from us coming up? We'll be talking about Rebirth eventually, other book reviews, but if there's something else out there that you're nagging about, just talk to us.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
sure you
let's
guys
talk
are gonna
about what
review
is now.
Suicide Squad.
Yep.
We will.
I might not because I don't know if I want to waste my money to go see it.
And if you just want to talk to us, you can tweet all of us. You
Yeah.
can tweet us all at Nerdcouver together.
Yeah.
Or you can follow each of us
Individually.
individually.
Or
Aaron
Facebook.
is on Twitter at Last Swan.
With 2 N's.
With 2 N's. Jen is Nova Vanderwolf.
Yes.
And I'm Nate Mays.
Yeah.
Because I don't get cool names.
You get all of the cool names.
You got like the only name that makes sense.
Well, mine makes sense, but well, you know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yours makes sense too. Mine doesn't. Mine makes absolutely no sense.
Yours also makes sense.
Yeah, but you got a following under that name. So that's
Yeah,
why
I
it
can't
makes
change
sense.
it now.
You can't, you're
You know what?
stuck with
It's
it.
okay because I like wolves. Wolves are my totem animal, and Nova's my favorite original character.
Mhm.
And Vander is the place that I would live if I could.
Well,
if
then
it
if it
existed.
all makes sense to you,
It makes sense to
Sense.
me. It probably doesn't make sense to you.
Makes sense to me.
it doesn't have
That's
to.
because you know me.
Yeah.
But yes.
I finally got the origin story of the Nova Vanderwolf name. I didn't know till right now.
Well, there you go.
There we
You
go.
learned something new about me.
Yep. Friendship.
We all have secrets. Let's smoke indoors.
It's getting really dark in here, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
We're
wasting.
all just kind of like blending into the couch, especially since we're all wearing black.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all have,
Let
like,
me
dark hair.
turn on at least some of the
It's
lights.
probably not helping that I have this black beard that's like
And you're wearing a black. Oh,
Gray.
like a gray.
and black and it looks black on camera.
Yes, everything looks black.
It is
Except
black
for like this red thing behind us.
and the white wall.
And the white wall. And the white
Let's
line.
see if it hooked up to you.
All right, we're just rambling. We're
Yes,
really
we're-
rambling. We're
we are.
officially, actually rambling off topic.
Whoa, it looks like the world's on fire.
Let's
Is it Daredevil vision?
darken that a bit. There we go.
All right, anyways.
All right,
I
guys,
really do need to
We're
go.
out of here.
All right.
So I need to sew. I have to finish this.
Tune in
Thank you
next
for
week.
watching. Thank you for your questions.
Yes.
Tune in next week.
We'll be live streaming next week, probably Thursday, if someone is not working.
Probably Thursday morning.
Yep.
Yes.
So for the UK people,
yeah, anyone
Yeah.
overseas that
Yeah,
wants to join
overseas.
us that is probably sleeping right now.
yeah, well, you can come hang out.
Please do.
We love chatting.
Yeah.
Very chatty people.
Yeah, you can. You were very chatty people.
So it's supposed to go on an hour, where an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Go us.
We
Darren
rule.
Walsh says that we are awesome.
Thank you.
You're
Darren,
awesome.
you're awesome. Thank
You are the win,
Talking.
I know. That's like 2 weeks in a row. that
2
he's
weeks in a
watched
row.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you.
Nice.
Thank you for watching
And
us.
if you ever don't feel like talking in the chat, you could always tweet one of us, and I'm sure one of us would be happy to tweet along with the peoples too.
Oh yeah.
I do a weekly comics tweet thing every Wednesday morning talking about the comics.
He does.
I
He
don't
does
really-
do it.
I post all of our pics on Instagram and Twitter.
I literally just show up.
It's
I gotta start.
okay. You gotta keep your face.
I need all the DC stuff because nobody else will.
Well,
You
I
suffer for us all.
I want to
Suffer?
read the trades.
I'm happy.
'Cause-
Are you?
Except for Batman.
Right ahead. I'm gonna read that right now. No, I'm not gonna sew. All right. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much.
Oh wait,
See-
that's you. You're
Yeah,
in charge
I've got
of
to
this.
charge.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you next week.